Queensland. Beautiful one day, having another total freak out the next. Just 10 days ago, Queensland's Chief Health Officer said, don't worry. Sure, the government's been shutting down Brisbane at the drop of a hat, shutting its borders, but those days were over. Brisbane wouldn't face another virus lockdown. In future, only the most vulnerable people would be locked down if there was a COVID-19 cluster, because Queensland could now trust its contact tracers. They've done such a great job. She said, there's no need to go into lockdown when we've got responses like this. Just 10 days ago, she said that. Yet this afternoon, bang, Greater Brisbane locked down again for 3 days.
I apologise for the inconvenience that it's going to cause people, but health has to come first. I didn't sleep last night, so I think I am very worried. I'm very concerned.
So once again, Brisbane people must stay in their homes. Children can't go to school, even though we know that the chances of children actually getting infected are so tiny. Businesses even outside Brisbane are now affected. Masks are back, you see, and people in hospitality venues must sit, not stand. This Cairns businessman is sick of it.
That's a terrible announcement, wearing masks throughout Queensland. I mean, we don't have a problem here in North Queensland. And for example, we're doing a function for 180 people, cocktail party tomorrow night for the launch of the new Coral Geographer boat. And that's a standing function, so I don't know how that's going to work.
So how come all this chaos, and in the week before Easter, with all those tourism operators hoping to get customers coming in this week, with those taxpayer-funded half-price airfares?
The consumer confidence of people across Australia coming to Queensland has, I'm sure, been dealt another blow.
So why all this chaos? It's so stupid. It's because just 4 more people have got infected. That's 4 people outside the quarantine hotels. And even then, 2 of these 4 were already in isolation. They'd already been tracked down as close contacts of someone else that got infected. And the other 2, a nurse, works at a facility treating virus patients, how did she get it, and her sister. So is this Queensland government seriously saying 4 more sick people, 2 already in isolation, 2 are sisters? Our contact tracers can't possibly deal with that many. Is the Queensland Premier really in charge of a contact tracing system that's so incompetent? Or is this in fact politicians yet again covering their backsides by overreacting? Oh, I can't sleep. Knowing that they've got voters so terrified that they'll accept almost anything. And thank the Premier for whipping them. Oh, we can't be too safe. Well, I don't think the rest of Australia should reward this. If Queensland voters support their government panicking like this, then let Queensland voters pay for it. You see, today was the day that the JobKeeper scheme ended. The scheme, the federal scheme that pumped $90 billion into the businesses of bosses who want to keep their workers in jobs. No more of that. It's over. And let the Queensland government now subsidise the businesses it is destroying in its panic. But there is one other thing. There is one other thing that the rest of us should be worrying about here. Even a government as paranoid as Queensland's, so hypochondriacal, would not shut down its capital if our vaccination program was up to speed. Now you contrast and compare. Australia has now vaccinated just 500,000, let's be fair, 540,000 people. Let's be more accurate. They've given the first of 2 shots to 540,000 people, just the first of the 2 jabs. Israel, meanwhile, has vaccinated nearly 5 million people, 10 times as many, and given them both jabs. The Netherlands has vaccinated nearly 2.5 million with their first jabs. Britain has given 29 million people 1 dose, but Australia just over 500,000. Now, I know getting the vaccines is not easy. And I know we don't want this rush, safety, I know. And I also know that other countries are even further behind than us. But when we've got premiers so quick to shut down their cities, then we need to be a lot further ahead with vaccinations, because what we see now in Brisbane, totally unacceptable.